special meeting of the Board of Trustees for the Village of Dansville to order. Would you please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. Okay, the purpose of this evening's meeting is one, and that's to discuss and possibly vote on the increases in the water and sewer rates. Okay, at this time, Superintendent Tracy, would you brief the board on that list you have there, that chart?
Good evening. There was a pass out or a handout at the front door if everybody received one. If everybody could focus on the front page, water in the village. We won't talk about outside the village at this time. If everybody looks at the top of the page where our present rates are, the $72 base charge, $30 usage. This is based on 10,000 gallons. That's $3 for every 1,000 gallons. You can see your total bill would be $102. The next line down, Paul Bringawatt is a fellow that we hired to do a rate study for us. Back in 2012, that was his recommendation, $83.24. The $27 equates to $2.70 per thousand. As you can see at our present rates today, the board went with a $72 base rate. They did not go with Paul's recommendation of $83.24. We had Paul come back in 2015 and relook at the numbers, and now you can see in 2015 he's recommending $88. The board, we've met and talked. These are just proposed numbers at this point for discussion. They are now at $83 on a base rate and $3.50 for 1,000 gallons. In the sewer, you can see the present rates now are $65. Paul's 2012 study was $97. We had him come back in 2015. Some things have changed, some grants, some lower interest money, some different things, and he lowered it down. He recommended a $90 charge. But I will emphasize in 2012, we were looking at $1.1 million a year payback. We're down now around $450,000 on the sewer plant. It's a debt payment. The board has discussed it, and like I say, this is just up for debate tonight, and they set that rate at $83, kind of a compromise, and $3.50 a gallon for 1,000 gallons. So if you go to the bottom of the page, you can see the present rate. It's about $197 for a 10,000 gallon user. The new proposed rates would be $236. Now that equates to like $156 a year, $39 a quarter, $13 a month, or $3 a week if you want to break it down. There's also at the bottom of the page the note that says $38.53 is for the water plant charge. That's for the capital debt for the new water filtration plant that was built back in 2000. The second charge is the new sewer plant, and that's an estimated charge. I want to emphasize estimated. We believe it'll come in pretty close to that, but that number could change slightly. So basically your total bill without the capital project cost is around $150.99. So just to kind of go through and show you guys what the raises are. I know there's been a lot of numbers thrown around, a lot of inaccurate numbers. But I will say, this project has come a long ways. With MRB study back in July 2020, just the cost for the sewer charge was going to be $802 a year. Now that's just sewer side, no water. And we've cut that about in half. So we've come a long ways. So I will turn it back over to you, Pete, and take it from there.
At this time, each trustee want to make a comment. Trustee Humphrey. Trustee Rittenhouse.
I spoke a little bit last week. I want to speak a little bit more in regards to some of this week.
Hey, turn it a little closer.
Is it on now? Can you hear
Yes.
me?
No.
I didn't make it.
Just get closer.
I spoke a little bit last week, and I'm going to speak a little bit more here tonight in regards to what I see in front of me and what my feelings on a lot of this are. We heard a lot of people's feelings heard what they had to say last week, and I appreciated everyone that came in and spoke. Inevitably, we're at crossroads right now, and I, along with everyone in this room, cringe at the fact that our bills will ever go up, as I believe that our bills are already high enough. Unfortunately, over the years, we've looked at, I've looked back at, and I'm just going to use someone talked about Whalen last week or Nunde, and I'm going to use Geneseo as an example. Geneseo has a wastewater treatment plant that was built in 1962. It's still used to this day. But over the years, changes has been made to that plant, and upgrades have been made to take in all of the sewage and all the water and everything that's there, which allows that plant from 1962 to continue being used. You kind of think and wonder why Dansville has a charge now of what we're looking at. I personally am not going to sit here and throw stones at anybody that was in charge before or whatever, but I believe our piss poor maintenance has led us to where we're at. No one changed what we've had over the years, to the point now where a handful of years ago, this sewer plant was facing the board that we had at the time, and they had no other choice but to move forward because we needed a new plant. And they did what they felt was best, and they got the ball rolling, and I will never take a shot at them. Inevitably, after that ball started rolling, and that started out with what they had in front of them, knowing that we had to have a new wastewater treatment plant here. It was a $19 million bill. It was at 4.5% interest. And over the 30 years, the payback was going to be, I just had it written down here. I don't know, the payback was right around $39 million. Just shy of $40 million. And that was what was in front of them. Now, over the years, as this has progressed, the boards at the time have been able to get the cost down a little bit. They've been able to go out and secure a 0% interest loan. And they've gotten the cost of the plant down to about $13 to $13.5 million. And that's through the hard work of the people that were here before me. I've been a trustee for 4 months, and the reason why I ran was to try to help. But inevitably now, here we sit with a $13.5 million bill. Grants have came in to get it to where it's at. I've heard that we didn't go after grants, and I don't think that is true at all. Dansville is in a hardship. That was what gave us the grants. But inevitably, that $13.5 million has to be paid back. And I think that the boards previous to us have done a good job at getting us to where we're at now. I don't want to see our bills go up at all. And if anyone can come up with a way that we can pay for this bill, we've asked them to step forward, and there's really no way. Now, the numbers that have been thrown out, 30, 40, 50%, I don't know. I've heard them all. It really comes down to $3 a week. $3 a week is what we're talking about here. I don't want to spend the $3 a week, but inevitably, to know that every time I flush my toilet, that it's going to be taken care of properly and it's not going to end up in the Cancerega Creek, coming out the other end of the wastewater treatment plant, then I guess $3 is what we have to part with. It's not 50% or the percentage that are thrown out. It equals out to be $3 a week. When this started, it was going to be, as Mr. Tracy said, right around $852 sewer side alone per year. With the new numbers, it's showing $472 for the sewer side. That's that's a $384 reduction. So to sit back and think that that the boards before us didn't work is crazy. Again, go back and think about Geneseo with a sewer plant from 1962 that is still in use today. We've listened, as I mentioned a couple weeks ago, in regards to the fact of going back and looking through the budget and going line by line, and we did. We sat down at a workshop that was open to the public, and it was in the paper, and we went line by line by line down through the budget. And we were able to carve out, we'll just use the word, right around $50,000. The unfortunate part of that is by taking that $50,000 out, and we did, it's what we needed in the budget for I&I. And what I&I is the water that's getting into our plant from groundwater pipes. We'd always hope not to have water main breaks and sewer problems, but that's what was taken out, was the emergency money. And that's sad too, because we've talked about all of our pipes, and someone mentioned last week, dig up all the streets. Well, we can't dig up all the streets. We're trying to do them slowly and methodically. And believe me, I will always, because I don't think about this as your tax dollars, I think about it as mine as well. Always try to spend every nickel as wisely as we can. So, I don't know what more I can say, but we have gone over this. We met again last evening, and went over, yesterday morning I should say, and went over this again to try to see what we can do. But inevitably, it was going to be about a 94% increase if it went the original way, and luckily, I think the boards previous to us have done a good job getting that bill from $19 million at 4.5% to $13 to $13.5 million at 0% interest. We have discussed, and if you listened on the, a lot of people don't come to the board meetings, and I'm finding out that a lot of people listen to it online. There's been discussion still about additional grants. The hard part about some of these grants, and we're looking into every one that there is, to have our 0% interest loan or grant that we have now is because Dansville is in a hardship. Dansville's ranked in a hardship level. If we lower it too much more, and that's how we're always looking at it, it could take Dansville out of the hardship level and put us back into a rank that possibly could mean we'd pay interest again. So we will adamantly go out and continue to look for grants to help pay this down. We'll continue to find ways to cut any place we can. I'm always available. I'll listen to whatever anyone has to say. But the bottom line is there's $13.5 million, roughly, give or take a few dollars, that need to be paid back. And this process, where we go wrong, is the fact that we have not creeped the rate up a little bit as it goes. It's always hard when you take a sting of a big raise at one time. But what should have probably occurred is maybe since the inception of this process of the sewer plant is maybe starting to move the rates a little bit at that point to pay for this money then. But again, we're holding steady at $12.99 a thousand. 8 years ago, that tax rate went from $13.49 down to $12.99. We leave it at $12.99 because we make cuts. Our police department used to be manned with 10, 12 guys. We're down to 5 or 6 guys there and our chief. By keeping that tax rate level, rather than raising taxes, it continues to cut. And we just don't know where the bottom is. Because the more we continue to cut, the more we hurt our village. And this is a village that I've grown up in and I've chose to stay in, and I will continue to stay here and try my best for everything in this village. But by not raising things along, and I know it hurts everyone, it hurts us. I told you last week, I choke every time I open that water bill, and I do. And my wife would always tell you that I'd kick and scream paying the thing, but inevitably, we paid it. And I used to complain, and that's why I wanted to get involved. But once you see the numbers, there's no other way other than to try to make some sort of a raise in the bill. It's $3 a week that I will miss if this passes. It was I think $4.50 a week is what it was. We've got it down to $3, and that still takes out a lot of our emergency money and the monies that we need to fix the system that's between our brand new water plant. We've got a great water plant that flows great water off the hill, and now we have a great wastewater treatment plant at the end of the lines to take care of things. But the money that we just took out of that budget is what hurts everything between. So again, I'm always open to listen. I'm here for the village. I was elected by the people of the village, and I'll always continue to try to do my job. And if in 3 years and 9 months, 3 years and 8 months, you decide that I haven't done a great job, then you certainly feel free to put a candidate up and run against, if I choose to run again. But I'll always do what's best for this village, and at no point would I not. And I just want that out there. So if anyone else has a way that we can get it down more than $3 a week, I'd be more than happy to listen. Yes, another thing that came to us, a lot of people have asked us about that water plant charge, the capital improvement of $38.53 that we see on our bill. That is to pay for that the water treatment plant up on the hill. In 2021, 6 years from now, that plant will be paid for. That charge then can go away. But inevitably, I laugh too, but that's what that's there for. Now, if the water charges are something that needs to be done, well, then that gets adjusted. But the $38.53 in 2021, when that bill's paid, that plant is paid for, that bill goes away. So that's all I have to say, and thanks for listening.
Trustee LeBach.
I did want to make a few comments relative to another portion of the debt service that we're trying to cover with the increase in the rates is the composting plant. We currently haul our sludge to Bath. That expense to us has been increasing annually. We have increased federal regulations, and also the trucking the expense has gone up. I don't have the actual number in front of me, but I can say that the last fiscal year we spent somewhere between $170,000 and $190,000 hauling sludge to Bath. We will no longer have that expense with the new wastewater treatment plant. Also, we're able to take advantage of the 0% loan. We're able to piggyback onto the wastewater treatment plant, so the half the cost, 50%, will be covered with a grant. Also, we own the process now. We're responsible for it. We're creating a product. We can make that product available to members of the community and potentially, maybe in the future, even sell that product. And that's a good place to be. Thank you.
Trustee Whitenack.
I'd just like to say that with the cuts that we've made on this budget going into this vote, I certainly hope that we don't have any problems through the year. We can visit the budget in another year, but right now, why we've made those cuts, and I hope that it doesn't come back and bite us. So we've done our best. Thanks.
Anyone else? Okay, at this time I'll entertain a motion to set the water rate at $83 for the base, and $3.50 for the usage rate. That's for inside the village. $98 base and a $4 usage charge for outside the village.
Also move.
Okay. Have a motion by trustee Labar, a second.
Second.
Second by trustee Wojtnak. Discussion. Okay. Not hearing anything else. Go ahead with the vote. This is on the water only. Trustee Humphrey?
Aye.
Trustee Rittenhouse?
Aye.
Trustee Labar?
Aye.
Trustee Wojtnak?
Aye.
And the mayor's an aye as well. Okay. Motion carries 5-0. Now, for a change in the rates for the sewer requires a change in the law. The rates are essentially the same. $83 for the base and $3.50 for the usage on inside the village, and $98 for the base and $4 for the usage outside the village. Do I have a motion to that effect?
Motion. Move.
Have a motion by trustee Wojtnak, a second.
Second.
Second by trustee Humphrey. Discussion? Not hearing any. Trustee Wojtnak?
Aye.
Trustee Labar?
Aye.
Trustee Rittenhouse? Trustee Humphrey? And the mayor's an aye. Okay, motion passes 5-0. We'll get that change out to the Department of State tomorrow. And these rates will go into effect the 1st of October. Hey, is there anything else on the part of the board? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Okay, a motion by trustee Wojtnak, second by trustee Humphrey. Thank you very much. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion